Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer's Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing an 11 by 8.5 Easter layout, playing along with Pattern Play with Allison Davis. So again, I won't be able to show you the sketch that I got the inspiration from. I didn't follow her sketch completely, but I definitely was inspired to do this layout using information that she gives in her class. So here I have lots of ephemera pieces from A Simple Stories Easter collection. This was from a few years back. I'm not sure what the name of it is. I'll have to look that up. But it was one I had picked up from Peachy Cheap. So I only had the 6x8 papers, lots of ephemera, including chipboard pieces. And not all of those ephemera pieces are going to get on the layout, but most of them are. I also have a few acrylic flowers and buttons from Close to My Heart. The buttons actually don't make it on the layout, but the acrylic pieces do. So I have lots of pattern papers that I plan on using in my design. And I was just looking for ones that were either solid or had all of the colors in it, but we're going to still work together. So I get majority of these on the layout. I think there's a couple that I end up eliminating and not using. The tealy green color is one, and the stripe. No, I did end up using the stripe after all. So I went ahead and did the pink, green, and yellow down one side, and then the plaids in the same green, yellow, and pink down the other side, and then mixed in the ones that have all of the colors on them to fill in the other spots. I was looking for a stitching stamp that would fit in between those squares. So instead of stitching actually on the square, I just stitch in between the squares. And I'm using a stamp because I don't actually sew on my layouts. I have in the past, but I messed up my sewing machine a few years back and never really had it fixed. So it sits in my room collecting dust because I refuse to get rid of it. I know it can be fixed. It's just a little bit off as far as like the what is that, the tightening of it or whatever. So it doesn't stitch correctly right now. But I found these stitching stamps, and that's what I use now. I've used these for a few years, and this is just my go-to for stitching. And after I get it all said and done, I'm like, maybe I should have did it on the papers versus in between the papers. But it's done now, and I kind of like the result, so I'm going to leave it. It's okay. And I have to keep flipping my stamp around because I'm trying not to stamp where it doesn't belong. I'm trying to use that paper to, in case anything extra comes off, it'll be on that paper, not on the layout. And it works out okay. It works out fine. I just have to remember to move it and turn the stamp the correct way. And for a couple of the corners, I do go in with a pen and just kind of fill in the stitches where they're missing because it was easier than trying to get the stamp to stamp it there. So here, we're just going to keep going and keep turning and twisting it and getting it to just stamp right in the middle. And I think it turned out pretty cute. Like I said, I just keep turning the stamp so that it gets a different stitch line in each area so it doesn't look exactly the same all the way up and down. And like I said, I like the end result, so it's okay. I think it would have looked, I don't know, not better, but just different if I would have did it on the actual pattern paper. But I don't know. I kind of like it in between too. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think it should have been actually on the papers? Or maybe I should create another layout and stitch on the papers and see if I like it. But either way, it's done now. I'm going to pop up my photo on a little bit of play foam. I'm going to also pop up the title. I'm just going to use the Hip Hop Hooray. Like I said, this was just one of the toys he received in his Easter basket. So I thought it was kind of cute to highlight it because it kind of shows what he was into at that age in his life. He's 2 years old and he's holding actually a Fisher Price toy, which I absolutely loved Fisher Price when I was little. The Fisher Price little people were my favorite. And that's what he's holding. He's holding Eddie, which is a stuffed little Fisher Price toy. And he loved the Fisher Price toys too. And he had a lot more options than I did, um, because they came out with lots of cool little Fisher Price little people toys. And here, I'm just going to pop that down. I put the flower behind the photo up there at the corner. I'm going to add this cute little butterfly. I decided it looked better on the pink than it did the plaid. These little black hearts I'm going to add up here because there is a pink heart on the tree. And then the little tree I'm just going to add over here down at the bottom. And then I'm going to add the little kite just to show a little bit of movement. And I think it looks cute. I think it goes along with the theme of, the toys and of childhood. So that's what I was kind of going with. I kept it fairly simple. It's not the best photo. This is definitely an older photo that was taken with a regular camera. There's no digital camera here. But again, it is a memory and it's a photo that I have of him at this age. So there you go, little close-up, and I will have a few little close-ups here to share of the layout also. I want to thank Allison Davis for her inspiration. I definitely was inspired by her to create this layout, and I should have another layout up tomorrow. I will see you guys then. Bye. Thanks. Have a good day. Like and subscribe.